So the out-of-box behavior is that it account, contact, and opportunity. The term account is a customer, company, or a client. Customer, company, or a client, and then contact is a contact for that customer, company, or a client. Contact is a contact for that customer, company, or a client. Okay, now opportunity is a potential sale. Opportunity is a potential sale. So here we will be working on this opportunity. So this is an opportunity here. So in the opportunity, we are going to associate a price list. So here I'm going to associate a price list. Now, while selecting a price list, we have an option here to select user provided or system calculated. So user provided manually, we have to do the calculation, and for system provided, system will do the calculation. Next step is that I am going to add an existing product here. So we added an existing product here, and then I'm going to increase the quantity. Now, if you notice here, the final amount is $900. This is because we have the product level discount, which is applicable to all the customers. And when we give some more discount here, then this discount is the sale level discount. Sale level discount is only for the particular customer, not for all the customers. Next step is that I am going to create a quotation. So we can create more than one quotation to the customer. We can create more than one quotation to the customer. If customer is happy, then we are going to activate that quotations. We can have more than one quotation to the customer. If customer is happy with the quotation, then we are going to activate the quotation. So here I will activate the quotation. Next step is to create an order. So I'm creating an order here, and at the time of creating an order also we have an option to use some more discount, just not to lose the deal. So I'm giving some more discount here, just not to lose the deal. The next step is that create invoice, and once the invoice is paid, the opportunity is won. Once the invoice is paid, opportunity is won. Opportunity, when we will say that opportunity is won, when a sale is done. When a sale is done, then we say that opportunity is won. When a sale is done, then we say that the opportunity is won. Okay, now we go back to the sales module. So under sales module, so when you go to the opportunity, there is an equal probability here that opportunity may be won or it may be lost. Opportunity may be won or it can be lost. If the opportunity is won, then that is considered as a sale. If the opportunity is won, that is considered as a sale. Now, when the opportunity is lost, when we close the opportunity as lost, then here we have one more entity called competitor. Now, this competitor entity is not mandatory, but when we are closing a deal, we want to know that why we lost the customer. So if you want to maintain any competitor, then you can have a competitor entity here. So here I'm going to enter the competitor, that is Google. Save and close. Now I close this opportunity as lost. Close the opportunity as lost. You go back to the sales module. Under sales module, if you see, account is a customer, company, or a client, and contact is a contact for that customer, company, or a client. Leads are inquiries, an entry point to the business. Opportunities are potential sale. Opportunities are potential sale. Competitors like when we are losing a deal or why we lost the customer, so we can set the competitor here. Then quotations, what quotations we are going to provide to the customer, what orders, invoices, products. And then sales literature is used for the document management. So if you want to maintain a centralized document, then we use the sales literature entity. Now, goals is an independent topic and reports is also an independent topic. Goals and reports is an independent topic. Next term, we will move to the service module. But before starting the service module, we have a prerequisites to set up. See, when we are providing a service to the customer, it cannot be a lifetime free service. It cannot be a lifetime free service. But initially, the service might be of 6 months. Then customer has to renew the contract, and then once the customer renews the contract, then we will be able to provide the service to the customer. So to set up the service module, first what we do is we go to settings and then create a contract template. So in contract template, we're going to define like what type of the service we are going to provide. It's a 24/7 service, a 5 days a week service that we are going to define here. So I'm going to create a contract template. Samsung Gold contract. So we have a frequency here, billing, monthly pay, monthly contract, annually, quarterly, that we can define here. And what is the service we're going to provide, like 24/7 service or 5 days a week service that we are going to define here. Let's say on Sundays the service is not available from 4 p.m. The service is not available till 3 morning, 8 to 3 the service is available, that we are going to define in the contract template. So I created the contract template here. Next, we go to the service module and then go to the contracts here. So here I'm going to create a new contract. So while creating a contract, we have an option here to select the contract template. We have an option here to select the contract template. So I'm going to select the contract template. Samsung contract. And then the customer is the Adventure Works customer. And then what is the duration of the contract that we are going to define? That is from 1st of March till 31st May. Save it. Next, if you notice here, there is one more entity called contract line. Contract line is not mandatory. Contract line is a terms and condition to the contract. Terms and condition to the contract. Example, we may have a 1 year of free service, and that 1 year of free service we are going to provide one replacement. So if you purchase any Samsung product, for that Samsung product, you have the 1 year of free service. 1 year of free service. Now, in that 1 year of free service, we are going to provide one replacement. If that replacement is utilized in the first month itself, your contract expires. That we are going to define here. So here I'm going to create replacement. Total price is quoted as $100. Save it. How many replacements? One replacement I'm going to say. Next, we go to the contract here and I'm going to activate the contract. So I activated the contract. Next step is there is one more entity called articles. Okay, now these articles are not mandatory again. See, whenever you call to the customer care department, the very first job of the customer care department is to resolve the case on the call itself. Now, to resolve the case on the call itself, they use some internal problem solving scripts. Whenever you call to any customer care department, they try to resolve your case on the call itself. Now, to resolve this case on the call itself, they use internal problem solving scripts, some internal guide to resolve the issues. So those internal guides are nothing but the knowledge base article. So here I'm going to create a new knowledge base article. Solution to a problem. So here we're going to say customer unable to connect. Connect. Subject, the default subject. Customer unable to connect. So here we're going to say customer unable to connect, and then solution. Please follow the below steps to resolve the case. Please. Steps to and then put some screenshots here. Save it. Next, we're going to submit. So in real time, this will go to some submission team and approval team. And once it is approved, this will be provided as a resolution to the customer. So right now I am the administrator, so I am able to see the approve button. So once this is approved, right, this will be provided as a resolution to the customer. Okay, so now we are done with this one. So there is one more entity that is called subject in dynamic CRM. Now the subject entity is not mandatory. This is used to categorize what type of issues we are getting. This is used to categorize what type of issues we are getting, like functional, what type of issues like technical issues, non-technical issues, or some display related issues. So those we can configure here by subject, like technical issue or display related issue, but non-technical issue. So those subjects we can define here. So at the time of generating the reports, or if you want to show the data in dashboards and charts, you can filter by the subject. So here I'm going to add the subject. Technical issue. So in the technical we have display. On the display we have LED, LCD, LED. LCD. Okay, now we are done with the prerequisites to the service module. So next time, if the customer calls with a problem, so when you go to service here and then create a case, I'm going to create a new case. Customer unable to connect. Connect. What is the subject here? technical issue, display, LCD. What is the origin here? Phone call. Who is the customer? Adventure work is the customer. Now save this one. After save here, you can go to the knowledge base articles and go to the contracts here. So here I'm going to associate a contract, and then if you notice here, I'll see the replacement, and then if you want to provide any resolution to the customer, if you want to provide any resolution to the customer, you can associate a knowledge base articles. So I'm going to associate a knowledge base articles, and then resolve the case. Resolve it. Next time when I go and create a new case, next time if customer calls with the complaint and the agent is going to create a case, customer unable to connect, go to the adventure works, save it. Now here when you go to the contract, now if you notice here, you'll see the contract line. Contract line is not mandatory. Contract line is mandatory here, and you are not able to see because there was one replacement and that replacement is already utilized. Now when you are creating a case, and then you will not be able to resolve it unless customer renews the contract. Now when you go back to the customer, here you can track from where you got this customer, how many opportunities you have with this customer, how many cases you have with this customer, and how many contracts you have with this customer. Each and everything you will be able to see from the account entity. Now let me just go back here to recap what we covered here in this example. So here, if you notice here, so what we did is like first we created a campaign. For that campaign, we created a marketing list, and for that marketing list, we created a campaign activity. And for that campaign activity, we distributed the campaign activity. After distributing the campaign activity, we got a response, and that response is converted to a lead. That response is converted to a lead. Once we have the lead in the system, so here, if you notice here, once you have the lead into the system, it will enter into the CRM. After entering into the CRM, lead is contacted, qualification meet the opportunity, and then once the opportunity gets created, once the lead is qualified, if we create account, contact, and opportunity, and here the marketing person job is done, and from here the sales person will take care. Automatic tasks are generated, probability is set, reporting, sales pipeline, order is won, then customer calls with a problem, customer and the contract info is found in CRM, dispatcher create a case is in the support queue, answer is found in knowledge base articles, case is resolved, customer receives a confirmation email, and then finally customer is happy. So this is a very high level flow of customer relationship management. Clear? Any questions, guys? Hello?
Yeah, Farooq, clear.
All right. Okay. Next, on top of this, there is a new feature added in 2015. There is a new feature added in 2015 that is service management in Dynamics CRM. So managing the service level agreement in Dynamics CRM. So how do you as a business manage the service level agreement? How can you utilize dynamic CRM to manage the multiple SLAs against a case and monitor the performance against them? So Dynamics CRM 2015 provides the ability to manage the sales activity, marketing activity, and service activity. And SLA, a service level agreement, determines the level of the service you will provide to your customer. Determines the level of the service which you provide to your customer. A level of the service can be dependent on number of factors, including but not limited to. So whether the customer is entitled to a service via entitlement. An entitlement could be something you sell or is included in a product offering. That is, you get 9 out of 5 service with a response time of 8 hours. So what does it mean here is, so based on the attribute of the customer, that is a high value customer, you get X service, and low value customer, you get a Y service. Based on the attribute of a customer, that is a high value customer, you get an X service, and if a low value customer, then you get a Y service. Or based on the attribute of the case, that is if the priority or severity is high, then provide X level of service. Priority and severity is high, then you provide X level of service. So different channels of communications could drive different level of the service. That is, if a case is created through a Facebook, it has to respond in 24 hours. If a case is created through phone call, then we have to respond within 4 hours. If a case is created through email, we have to respond in 48 hours. So that we are going to configure in Dynamics CRM by using the SLAs in Dynamics CRM. So there are two types of SLAs which we can create in Dynamics CRM: standard SLA and enhanced SLA. Standard SLA were introduced as a part of our CRM 2013. Standard SLA were introduced as a part of a CRM 2013 Q2 release, and it has a lot of manual steps. Enhanced SLA were introduced in 2015, and most of the automations can be done by the enhanced SLA. Most of the automations can be done by the enhanced SLA. So there is a recommendation from Microsoft: if you have not used SLA till date, if you have not used SLAs till date, it is recommended to use the enhanced SLA over the standard SLA because of its better performance, because of the automation features. Next, to create an SLA, there are 5 entities to set up the SLAs in Dynamics CRM. First one is the customer service calendar. Defines the business hours to be used in the SLA calculation. Business hours to be used in SLA calculation. A business can have multiple calendars to support different SLA. That is 24/7 service, or 9 out of 5 business days customer specific calendar. So in customer service calendar, we are going to define what type of the service we are going to provide to the customer. It is 24/7 service, or 5 days a week service, or Monday to Friday, or morning 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. that we are going to define in the customer service calendar. Entitlements defines the agreed number of the cases that has been contracted with the customer. Entitlement. So what is an entitlement? Entitlement defines the agreed number of the cases that has been contracted with the customer for support. Entitlement can only be associated to one SLA, and SLA can be associated to many entitlements. Then next comes the service configuration. Service configuration defines which status place an SLA on hold. Note that the pause and resume status apply to all SLA and thus are not SLA specific. Holiday schedule. Define the dates that are considered as a holiday in a particular region. Define the dates that are considered as a holiday in a particular region. If you work in a multiple regions, then you may have multiple holiday schedules. The next, service agreement, defines the rules that apply to the agreement. When an SLA is triggered, when and what should occur if the SLA is successful, non-compliant or near non-compliancy. So these are the 5 entities to create an SLA in Dynamics CRM. So what is an SLA? It's an enhancement to the contract management in CRM. So let me go back to the CRM. So here, Okay, so to create an SLA, first we go to settings and then go to the service management in Dynamics CRM. Under service management, these are the five entities, that is the service level agreement, holiday schedule, customer service schedule, entitlements, and service configuration. So first we will go with the holiday schedule. So here I'm going to create a new holiday schedule, that is New Year. So here in the new year, what we're going to say is that 01 2018. So on this day, we are going to say that the customer service agents are not available. That is, we're not going to provide service on this date. Next, we go to the service management, and here we will go to the customer service schedule. So we'll go to the customer service schedule, CSR, create it. Okay, so here we have an option here to set the working hours. Working hours, it is 8 to 5 p.m. and there is a break in between, that is 12:30 to 1 p.m. there is a break. And the next, if you notice here, that is from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. again there is a break, and then from 1 to 5 the agents are available. Next we will save and close. Next we go to the service management. Next step is to go to the service configuration settings. So in the service configuration settings, right? In the service configuration settings, so we can add the status here where the SLA will not be calculated. So on hold the status, if the cases are on hold, the SLA will not be calculated. Now we'll create a service level agreement. So I'm going to create a new service level agreement. Samsung SLA SLA. Next, I'm going to add the SLA details. Okay, so when the SLA will trigger, so that we are going to configure here when the SLA will get triggered. So here we are going to configure that one. If the case title contains data, then the SLA will be triggered. Now on what status we say that SLA is completed successfully. So here if the case status is equal to resolved. If the case status is resolved, then we are saying that the SLA is completed successfully. And if the case status is resolved, what action you want to do it? So you can send out an email, you can create a child record, you can go back and notify some third-party applications, Facebook, Twitter, or any other applications. So here you can write any logic. You can send an email, you can create a child record, you can update an existing record, you can assign a record, change the status of the record. So in this example, I'm going to send out an email, a very simple thing, sending out an email. So while sending out an email, I have the from address, that is CRM admin, from CRM admin to case owner. So here I'm going to say SLA is completed successfully. SLA is completed successfully. SLA is completed successfully. Next, after 5 minutes, so least time I'm taking. If the case is not resolved in the 5 minutes, this is only for testing purpose. You can increase the time here. That is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, or more than 2 hours, 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day, or more than that. So least time I'm going to select here 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, if the case is not resolved, I'm going to send out an email. I'm going to send out an email here. From address is like CRM admin to case owner. SLA is failed. And next, if the SLA is failed, what do you want to do? You want to send out an email or update a child record, assign a record, change the status. So in this example, I want to assign a record. Assign a record is nothing but changing the owner of the record. So here I'm changing the owner of the record to the escalation team. So I'm going to create a team called a new team, that is escalation team. Escalation team. And for that team, we're going to assign a security role. So I created a team, and then what I'm trying to do here is that if the case is not resolved within 5 minutes, the owner of the case will change to the escalation team. The owner of the case will get changed to the escalation team. Next, after 1 minute, I'm going to send out a warning message. After 1 minute, I'm going to send out a warning message here. CRM admin to remaining 4 minutes to resolve the case. Remaining minutes to case. Okay, remaining 4 minutes to resolve the case. Next, save and close. Next, I'm going to activate it. Next, so there is one more entity to configure, that is entitlements. So we did service level agreement, holiday schedule, customer service, service configuration settings, and then we have entitlements. So what is an entitlement? Entitlement is an enhancement to the contract management. Entitlement is an enhancement to the contract management. So here I'm going to create an entitlement here. Samsung entitlement customer is the Adventure Works is the customer, and the start date I selected from 1st March till 31st May. Restriction yes, SLA Samsung SLA. Okay. Next, how many number of the cases? 2 cases in this entitlement, that is the contract management. So how are we going to provide those two cases? One through phone call and one through email that we are going to configure here. One through phone call and one through email. Okay. Now save this one and activate it. So now we are done with the configuration of the service level agreement. Now we are done with the configuration of the service level agreement. So we will go back to the service module and then go to case, and here I'm going to create a new case. Customer unable to connect. Customer unable to connect. Who is the customer here? Adventure Work is the customer. Origin is what? Origin is the phone call, and the entitlement is what? Samsung entitlement. Now save it. So if you go to the SLA details, you'll notice here that we have remaining 4 minutes 45 seconds. So a countdown will start here and show that the countdown, how much time left to resolve this case. How much time left to resolve this case. And if you notice here, who is the owner of the case? CRM admin is the owner of the case. And if the case is not resolved within 5 minutes, if the case is not resolved within 5 minutes, the owner of the case will get changed to the escalation team. The owner of the case will get changed to the escalation team. Try refresh here. So now if you notice here, after 4 minutes, after 1 minute, an email is triggered, that remaining 4 minutes to resolve the case. Now if you see the SLA details, you have remaining 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes, the owner will get changed to the escalation team. Okay, now if you notice here, the SLA is failed here. Now, if the SLA is failed, right, an email will get triggered and the owner of the case will get changed to the escalation team. So this is the simple logic we have written, but in real time, we can have any complex logic if the SLA is failed. Now I'm going to refresh here. So here, if you notice here, escalation team. An email is also triggered that SLA is failed. Next time when I go and create a new record here, customer unable to connect. Subject is what? Technical issue display. Customer is the adventure work is the customer. Okay, origin is the email and the entitlement I'm going to select Samsung entitlement, save it. Okay, now if you notice here the countdown will start here. Then I'm going to resolve the case, resolve it. Next, I'm going to create another one. Case customer unable to connect. Who is the customer? Adventure Works is the customer. Now when I select the origin as email and then I selected the entitlement and click on save button, it says that there is one email support and that email support is already utilized it. There is one email support and that email support is already utilized it. So here, because there was one email support, if you go here, you can see here in the entitlement there was one email support. That email support is already utilized. Now no email support, so phone support is there, so we can create an SLA using the phone support. Now when you go back to the customer, that is Adventure Works, each and everything you will be able to track with this Adventure Works, from where this from where we got this customer, how many contacts with you have with this customer, how many opportunities you have with this customer, how many cases you have with this customer, how many entitlements you have with this customer. Each and everything you will be able to track with the customer. Any questions, guys? Hello.
Hello, Farooq.
All right, now when you go to functional folder, there is one document here called business process questions. Now these business process questions are not the interview questions. These questions are for the functional consultant or a business analyst. These questions are there for the functional consultant or the business analyst. That how do you get the new leads? Does marketing play an important role? Are there marketing campaigns? How does a customer contact to get the information? How do you track and record the leads? So these are all business process questions, are requirement gathering questions. So if any person who is from the non-technical business analyst or a functional consultant, for them it is most useful this one. Customer service, how does a customer contact the service center? What is the purpose of customer service? So how service cases are recorded? What happens to a solution from prior to case? Is there a knowledge base articles? What are the steps to solving the customer issues? What steps are taken to close a case? Can anyone outside of the customer service view the activity between the customers and the customer service representatives? So do you have a method of tracking the potential business opportunities? Do you have a method of track the potential deals that you are working for? Each entity, there are some probing questions. For each entity, there are some probing questions. So based on these questions, we can create a flow chart. And there are some implementations which is called XRM implementations, where we don't use the these modules, that is sales, marketing, and service. So when we don't use these modules, those implementations are called XRM. XRM is like any business, any relationship, any management. So there is one example here, drug lab testing. So this is an XRM solution used by the drug lab testing to manage the business process associated with receiving samples from the doctors to be tested. Each sample is associated with a doctor, patient, and one more testing machine. Each sample is associated with a doctor, patient, and one more testing machines. So we are not using sales, marketing, and service. We are using our own entities called doctor, patient, and testing machines. So these type of implementations are called XRM implementations. Clear? Any questions? Hello? Yes, guys, any questions? So whatever we covered till now, right, it's all functional. So next, from tomorrow, we will start with the customizations and configuration. Okay, so if no questions, then we'll continue tomorrow at the same time.
Yeah, Farooq.
Okay then.
Farooq, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
For service, do we have any diagrammatic representation flow of the service model?
Service module, see, sales, marketing, and service will come this one on. Till here it is marketing, from here it is sales, and from here it is service.
Okay, this is overall three
Overall,
modules.
customer relationship management.
Okay. For service specific, there is no any
No,
flow.
no. So still, if you want, right, you can go to these documents. In the documents, you have it. I'll show you. So you must be having these documents also. You go to functional. Under functional, you can have a flow chart. So in the flow chart, you can see this sort of service model.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then.